don't even buy them because I love them so much. I'll tear through a half a bag and not think anything of it. So bad. Okay, anyway, it's 6:30. Let's talk about something else.
Are you ready, Roxanne?
Yep, we're rolling.
Ooh. Okay, at this time, I'd like to convene the Town of Ledyard Council, the Town of Ledyard, Connecticut Town Council Community Relations Committee regular meeting. The time is 6:30 and the day is Wednesday, March 17th, 2021. Roll call is Councilor Soms.
Present.
Councilor Ingalls.
Here.
Councilor McGrattan. You're muted.
He's
Mary.
muted.
I'll take a thumbs up. Thumbs up from Mary McGrattan, from Councilor McGrattan. And also here is Lisa Duzy-Smith, along with a Hillary Evans and a Nicole Cruz-Kalakin. At this time, I'd like to take any citizen comments. Are there any citizen comments? Okay, I don't see anything popping up. I assume there's no hands up or anything. Any citizens comments?
Oh, can I just ask a question?
Yes.
Oh, so at the Youth and Social Services informational meeting, will all current members of the board be present?
I don't know, because we only asked for representative from the board.
Okay.
They're certainly welcome to be.
Yes. We can reach out to them to see if they can all attend.
Be present, and Kate Sikorsky will also be present.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to have a motion to approve the regular minutes of March 3rd, 2021. Do I have a motion? Motion to approve? Have a second.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Councilor Soms. Second. Moved by Councilor Soms.
Councilor
Second by
Soms.
Councilor Ingalls. Do a vote. Councilor Soms, how do you vote?
I vote aye.
Councilor Ingalls, how do you vote?
Aye.
And Councilor Washington votes aye. 3 ayes, no nays, no abstentions. Continued old business discussion regarding community workshops and the schedule. At this time, we have the Youth Services and Social Services Board Chair, Lisa Duzy-Smith. And at this time, Lisa, the floor is yours to kind of give us an idea of what the plan is of attack for the April 7th, 6:30 public forum.
Okay, thank you. Well, the Social Services Board just met last evening, so this is good timing. And Kate and I have met. And so our plan is to present what the Youth Social Services Board offers to the town. So things that people may not be aware of and ways to reach the townspeople. But I wanted to sit on this meeting this evening just to see if there's anything else that this coalition is looking to learn from us. We don't want to assume what you want to know. We actually want to know what you think would be beneficial. So I would just like to put it back to this coalition group to share with me any questions or things that you would like us to present at the next meeting.
I'll go ahead, Councilor Ingalls.
Thanks for coming, Lisa. So one of the questions I asked Kate that I'll ask you is, what is something that you do that you wish the community knew more about so that they could take better advantage of it?
Okay, thank you. I was planning on just taking notes tonight and then answering all those questions at the next meeting, because I am the chairperson for the Social Services Board, but I don't work directly in the Social Services Board office. So I wanted to go back to the people who do the work and actually find out what those things are.
Okay, great.
I have, experience on what they've done in the past. Obviously, things have looked different in this past year, but we want to make sure that we're still servicing the townspeople the best that we can during
Okay,
times. So I'm going to be taking notes on any of your questions or anything that you think would be important to be presented.
I'm gonna jump in. Go ahead, Counselor Psalms.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. So Lisa, thank you for coming tonight. Question I asked last week, and I am just saying it again in the hopes that it will be provided. And Kate said she would. In her presentation, she listed the types of things and services that the town offers. I wanted to see, I thought it would be interesting to the people attending to see numbers of visits, statistics to go along with. So we offer this, we've seen this many people. We have 3 interns, they have done X number of consultations with students, things like that. So numbers to go with the services offered would be really helpful. That'll tell a story, either wow, look at all the work that's getting done, people being served, or there's an opportunity to do a lot more than we are, to Councilor Ingles' question. What do we wish people would take more advantage of? And that's it. Thank you.
My question, Lisa, is really, and I have really very little knowledge of what youth social services does. And from that perspective, I would be trying to figure out what services are actually available. Like I'd say the large majority of the town probably has no clue because they don't seek out the services. So they don't know what services they're trying to seek out. So being able to give a listing of, hey, these are the services and things we do, kind of a little overview of what it is, how to access that service, who to contact, if it's a confidential thing, is it something where you could do it, where you can come, not to have the whole neighborhood and everybody know that you're coming, and how those services are going to be delivered. Is it going to be done through a third-party agency? Is it done through the town? Things of that nature. Because I look at, like, I couldn't talk about the basket, the holiday baskets. I've given in the past to fundraisers, I would say, for the town does when they're collecting food and things of that nature, but I have no concept of what happens, who gets it, why they get it. And some of those things may be useful because there's probably people out there who may or may not understand that, yeah, if you give, it's going right to the community. It's people that you live with, work with, and things of that nature. And the other part, going back to what I initially said, was just getting an understanding of what those services are, and as Councilor Psalms noted, having an understanding what that wealth of, what's that age group? Is it all the way down to infants? We're talking about youth services, where does it go? Social services, what age group are we impacting? Are we doing it from infant to 18? Does it go past on the social service side? Are we going into the seniors? What's that realm? Because it could be anybody who's coming to the table. I'm coming in at 58 years old, and maybe somebody's coming in at 70, there's somebody who's coming in at 22 with children, and just trying to get an idea of what's available for what demographic. Do you have any questions for us, Lisa?
I don't. Thank you. This is actually everything Kate and I were discussing when we spoke earlier this week of what we were going to present. So we're just tasked with now digging up some of those statistics so that you will be able to see how many people are utilizing the food pantry, how many are utilizing the counseling services that are provided, the holiday baskets, and why those numbers aren't higher, because we know that there are more people in need. And I think that's the challenge that the Social Service Board discussed last night, because we do serve all residents of the town, right? So from infants, families like you were discussing, to our senior citizens. So we want to make sure that nobody's missing out. And I think this year there are people accessing services that have never had to in the past. So that adds another obstacle and challenge for the board to make sure that we're able to reach them. So all of this is great information, and I promise you, Kate and I will have a very informational report for you when we meet next time.
One other question is, during the discussion, if there's anything like the residents in general can do to support the social services, youth services, you know, there'll be a donation, whatever, that might be something to let people know, because people, this town tends to like to give stuff to people. So if they know that they can give to whatever groups, different groups, that may just increase the ability to spread the wealth a little bit for those who are in need, unfortunately.
Yes, the town has proven that they're a very generous group of people, but I think education about the services are so important. I've been a lifelong resident of this town, and until I became a board member, I did not know that the social services existed and what they were possible, you know, to do for the people of the town. So yes, we need to spread the word, and I think that's what's the most important part about educating all of you, and then you can spread it through the various groups that you're members of.
That sounds perfect. Do any of the counselors have any other questions? No.
No,
Counselor McGrattan, do you have a question or anything?
No, I don't. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, then at this time, thank you, Lisa, for attending. We greatly appreciate it. We look forward to seeing you on the 7th of April at 6:30. We're going to be trying to spread the word as much as possible to get as many people as possible in town to attend. We do video, it will be recorded and videotaped, of course, so other individuals can see it at their leisure if they're working or things of that nature. So hopefully we'll get at least a 20% hit, 25% hit across the town when all is said and done. And then that just, in my opinion, will extrapolate out as they talk to people about, hey, there's a service available that you didn't know about that I think you could use. So that would be great. Word of mouth would be perfect for this.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank
too.
you.
Bye. Now, we're also for the 7th, we've got an invite. We invited Corinza Mansfield from the Ledyard Prevention Coalition. And she wasn't able to make it tonight, but she will be making it. She does plan to attend on the 7th. So that will be helpful. She does, I think it's with the youths and such. That tells you how well I know what they do. So I'm one of the people who needs this this forum, trust me.
Corinza's with the Ledyard Prevention Coalition.
Yes. I'm not sure exactly what they do, but I see their stuff come across my
Preventing
my
drug
cell
abuse.
phone, and
It's substance abuse, drug abuse prevention among the schools.
okay, see, thank you. I had no clue. Okay, this continued discussion to consider drafting a formal position statement to the Board of Education as suggested by the Massachusetts Pequot Tribal Nation Chairman Butler at the Community Relations Committee January 20th meeting. We had talked about it at the last meeting. We had got some information from some discussions with Superintendent Hartling, and we come up with a draft version, the town council position statement regarding the Board of Education plans and policies and programs. If you can recall, there was a total of there were 8 bullets, and thank you, Roxanne. I hope. Yes, 8 bullets. And at the bottom of that, for the counselors, I think we talked about the first 8 bullets. I wasn't going to go into those at this point, but I want to talk about the bottom portion of it, which is in the addition, the Ledyard Town Council supports the board's 4-year ongoing effort to increase the diversity of their staff through implementation of a multifaceted recruitment plan and participation in the teacher residency program. I think we were holding on to that and moving to the town council welcomes and encourages applicants of underrepresented groups to apply for the teacher's residency program. And further, the town council supports in its coming year the Ledyard Board of Education commitment to begin a comprehensive. This is the one I'm a little quirky on, so just bear with me. This last paragraph. And further, the town council supports in the coming year the Ledyard Board of Education commitment to begin a comprehensive strategic planning process for Ledyard Public Schools. I get that. With widespread parent, staff, student, and community involvement, I get that. As the board seeks to understand their collective aspirations, establish priorities, and this is the part that I'm not sure if this should be in there or not, establish priorities for funding and improve engagement stakeholders and with stakeholders. Period. That should be a period. Sorry about that. And create performance goals. Sorry. And create performance goals. Should we, when it comes to the part about established priorities for funding, do we want to push that onto the council as part of this, position statement? Should that be part of this when we move this forward, or should we leave it and let them strip it out at the town council if they deem appropriate?
So I think it helps educate the council on the board's direction, what is most important in their view for educating students. So I think it's helpful because while we don't, the council has no oversight or authority over Board of Ed line items, we do need to understand everything that they do and hope to do as it relates to their total budget. So it seems appropriate to me.
Superintendent Hartling has his digital hand up.
Oh,
Good evening, friends. This is Mr. Hartling. I think, Mike, maybe thinking about this in the context of, it's almost like a capital plan, right?
Yeah.
So the capital
Yes.
plan, you include all those items in it and you associate costs with it so you can do some thought process. I think what that intends to say is that if we have collective aspirations around increasing service or whatever it may be, identifying the cost and thinking about the impact of that cost is an important part of strategic planning. Otherwise, it becomes a sheet of platitudes with no real commitment to what the costs are ultimately for. What's the academic return on investment? We can talk about all sorts of things, but if we don't assign a monetary value to it, it really just becomes a platitude that makes people feel good, in my opinion.
thank you. Thank you, Superintendent. That provides excellent clarity on that issue, because I was just I get it. I get it. So that being said, for this position statement,
The one thing I will say is I thought I recalled that when we talked about this last time, that we were going to put the teacher residency program at the very end, sort of as the exclamation point on this statement. Like, this is one of the most specific and powerful things that we're going to be doing. So if that's still the case, then after the 8 bullet points, the next 2 paragraphs should be at the end.
Yes, that's my recommendation or recollection too.
So in addition, I thought the stuff in blue was going to be on the end. And in addition to town council supports the board's 4-year ongoing effort to increase the diversity of their staff through the implementation of a multifaceted recruitment plan and participation in teachers residency plan. So you want to put that at the very end?
Yeah.
Yes.
For your ongoing efforts to increase the diversity. Okay.
Because that's a call to action. That
Yes.
last thing we say there.
I agree. I concur. I concur.
Mike, will you consider it too nitpicky if I ask you to drop the "and" before the word "further"?
I was about to, I was thinking in addition.
I should get one
Well,
of those
that's-
t-shirts that says what's that, Rox?
I said, then we have 2 in addition.
Oh, I see
So
what you're
if,
No, he was writing "and further." I was just asking that the word
I'm
"and."
the one typing here. It's me.
Oh, sorry.
I don't type that
That's
fast.
fine.
We'd be here all night.
That's all right.
Thanks, Rox.
I
That's
thought you had a
okay.
Zoom bomber.
Oh, no.
Crunching the numbers.
Crunch those numbers, baby.
Please, Bill, don't mention any more Zoom bombers.
Mum's the
So
word.
so with this layout at this point, we can hold this over for the next meeting and then make the motion to vote on it for the position statement, or take that or run with it before we hit the form and do it today. Uh-oh.
The superintendent's here. I just assume we wrap it up and deliver it.
I don't think that there's anything left to discuss.
I think we're done. So in that case, I can give it another full read, and then I'll put forth a motion, have somebody put forth a motion.
I don't
Or do
even
we
know
have to
that
read it?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't need the full read, Bill.
either.
Okay, me either. We've read it enough times. In that case, I'd be looking for a motion to approve the position statement as amended regarding the Board of Education plans and policy programs from the town council.
Counselor Psalms moves.
Counselor Psalms
Do you want-
moves.
Do you want to make it the draft dated March 17th? Seeing
Yes.
how we move some
Yes,
things around?
Please.
Okay.
yes.
Got it.
Counselor
have a
Ingalls seconds.
Second, thank you, Counselor Ingalls. So all in favor of roll call vote, Counselor Psalms,
Aye.
Counselor Ingalls,
Aye.
and Counselor Washington votes aye. 3 ayes, no nays, no abstentions. The motion passes, and we will move this to the, now from here, would it go directly to the town council, or does it got to go through any other group?
I would think it would go direct to the town council unless Mary wants to review it as admin, but Mary and Andra are here, so they could decide.
I don't think so.
I don't think
Okay.
admin, yeah, I don't think admin would add anything to this.
So it'll go directly to the council on its agenda next week.
Perfect, thank you. Let's see. We had on here the continued discussion regarding the delivery service assistant program in the town of Ledyard. There was a motion to recommend the Youth Service and Social Service Board include the following footnote on their food pantry, holiday baskets, toys, and other programs, policies, and procedure documents. The town residents are entitled to town services which they qualify as noted in the records of the Community Relations Committee meeting minutes. For the fuller discussion, see the minutes from September 2nd, 2020 to March 17th, 2021. I have to, I have not talked to the mayor, the mayor on this issue. I was derelict in that, to make sure he includes it in the policy statements. But at this time, we can make a motion to request the mayor include this in their policy statements.
Right, so you're looking for a motion?
Well, so I don't even know if we need a motion, because I'm thinking we should be able to just ask the mayor, can he just include it? Because it's a policy issue that the mayor does.
Yeah, so my thought, I'm a little confused. I think the best place for it is in the bylaws. Is in their bylaws.
Right.
Policy procedure, maybe I'm mincing words here, but.
My only concern with bylaws is the only people who read bylaws a lot of times are the higher echelon. The people who are, this is the idea being that this is something that's put on, like, if you've got a sheet that talks about your policies and procedures, how you do something, it's just like a bullet on the bottom of the sheet that just, that just says, hey, you know what? Town residents are entitled to town services, something of that nature, versus having them put it into their bylaws.
So then let's ask them. Let's ask them the best place to put it so that it's not lost.
Yep. What I will do, I promise, I will reach out to, what I'll do is I'll reach out to Mayor Allen and see if he could move this amongst the different, well, that would be through the town council, because they all sit for the youth services. How would be the best way to get that? So just help me out here. Would we just send it to the youth services? Do we send it through the mayor's office? Do we send it through the council office?
The Youth and Social Services Board are volunteers who are appointed by the mayor as opposed to committees that are appointed by the council. So what I would do is I would make a motion like what we talked about, or however you guys decide, and then write a letter to the mayor telling him that you took this action and you respectfully request that the Youth and Social Services Board includes this footnote wherever you guys think it needs to be. That would be, and then you would have it all documented that you voted on it, you sent them a letter. What happens after that would be up to them. You're just making a recommendation.
I like that. Because then it moves, one part it moves off the plate, but it gives it to the people who have to figure out where best to implement it at. And then we could always ask them, it'd be interesting to know how they implemented the request. So do we want to do?
So put that in your letter, you could ask them, we would appreciate a follow-up and let us know, or whatever you want to say about that. But you could put that in the letter.
Okay, so Counselor Psalms and Counselor Ingalls, as far as making a motion to request that the mayor place a statement within the, consider placing a statement within the, I have to figure, within the documentation procedures, or
Let him figure out what. Yeah,
okay,
So,
you could use all of that language and just let him and Kate figure out the best place to put it.
so I thought we didn't need a motion.
I'm thinking we just send a letter to the mayor.
We just sent a letter, yeah.
Can we just, we'll just send a,
Yeah,
Mary?
you
It's
could
an
do that. You could do that.
Counselor McGrattan, was that just your fingers?
Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't, yeah, that was just my fingers working.
Sorry.
So as I'm reading it, we all know what this is talking about, but I think anybody on Social Services Board, when they see this, or anybody working as a volunteer, when they see this, it's going to imply to them that they have to go read the minutes of this committee from September 2 to find out what they qualify for. And I know that's not our intent, but I think that's how they'll read it.
Yeah, I'm thinking that we just send a letter. We just send a letter to the mayor and just ask the mayor to include in the Youth and Social Services documentation where he sees fit, something to the effect of town residents are entitled to town services for which they qualify. Period.
Period. Yeah.
Is
All, I think the key word is all town residents. That's what
correct.
we're trying to do.
Part of the
That-
concern was that the historic discussion was going to be lost.
Yeah.
That was the point of referencing the minutes.
Yep. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Give me 1 second.
So how about we send a letter so we can put this to bed, that all town residents are entitled to town services for which they qualify as noted in the records of the Community Relations. Well, it's a two-part. This can be all town residents are entitled to town services for which they qualify, period.
Yep.
This is noted, and this is noted in the records of the Community Relations Committee meeting minutes. For further discussion, see the minutes,
There you go.
or as
Yeah.
noted.
Yeah, there you go.
That's fine with me. Honestly, Mike, you're concerned that it be buried in the bylaws and that's only seen by, the powers that be. To my thinking, that detail about where the fuller discussion is, that's fine.
Yep, okay.
That's fine. The volunteers that come and go, I don't think they need to stop and read those minutes. They
Nope.
just need to know who gets services. But if anybody's, to Linda's point, 5, 8, 10 years from now, when everybody's going, what are we talking about? We know where to go look. That's the point.
It
So-
would give them a point.
Right. So if we just communicate this to the mayor and to Kate and the Social Services Board, they can figure out the best place to tuck that information so that they know who can find it where when they need it.
Then can we say by consensus, we'll have a letter drafted and sent to the mayor requesting that he provide the following statement to the Youth and Social Services to modify or do or adjust as they see fit, that all town residents are entitled to town services which they qualify, or as noted in the records of the, this is noted in the records of the Community Relations Committee meeting minutes for the fuller discussion. See the minutes from September 2nd. So it's really, we completed off with a motion asking the mayor to implement it, and he doesn't. I'm not sure. I'm trying to wordsmith this the best I can, trying to figure out how not to step on somebody's toes. Who's going to get the document?
So what if if Roxanne puts a letter together and we review it at our next meeting?
That sounds perfect. Yes. Now that letter, when it comes back, that'll become, once we agree on that, it'll become part of our minutes. So it'll close out the issue for us and we can move on after that. Perfect. Thank you, everybody. So Roxanne, we will bring that back at the next meeting. Not the 7th, because that's the open forum. So
It'll be the 14th.
It'll be the 14th.
April 14th.
Perfect. Okay, continued review and discussion objectives and goals. We'll wait to move that on till after we have our next workshop. I think we're doing pretty good right now, because once we do the April 7th meeting, we've knocked off 2 groups of informational for the town. I think that's a great thing for the community workshops. So there's some continued topic number 5, continued discussion regarding the community workshops and schedule. I think after we've had some discussion about bringing in the firemen and such, so we'll address that at the meeting on the 17th. Any questions? Yes, Councilor Psalms.
So Councilor Ingalls had a suggestion that we think about doing one on Public Works and what they do.
Yes.
I think we should add that to the list.
Public Works, firemen, and so hopefully that's going to be, we'll have one in April, May, June. So maybe something come July, either early or late July, depending on what the recess is for the next round. We'll be able to, at the April 17th meeting, we'll finalize a list of people to ask for the next round and kind of go from there. I know
We were hoping to fit in 3 this calendar year. Is that correct?
Yes.
So that would put us right on track. We do April, we fit one in over the summer, we fit another one in the fall.
Yep.
That would be great.
I think we're doing very well. Thank you, everybody. Is there any new business to come before the committee?
No, but sorry, can we back up just 1 second? Did we communicate with Regina about creating the Facebook event for the upcoming forum?
Oh, no. I know that the council.
I was going to talk with her tomorrow. What I usually do is I put together the invite and then I send it to her and she creates the link. So I had sent out the invite via email the other day for all of you to look at. The attachment was just kind of generic, and then I wasn't sure in my email text, I listed some things, so I wasn't sure if you wanted me to list the things or just leave it generic. I forget what it said. It said something like, basically like the last one, and this was the last informational form we had, but instead of, we had the police, this one says youth and social services, and then I didn't know if you wanted me to list the subject matters like counseling, family therapy, food pantry. I didn't know if you wanted those specific things or if you just wanted it generic. So I can send that email back out after this meeting. And then if you get back to me tomorrow, I will connect with her and we'll get that set up.
Great, thanks, Rox.
Thank you, Roxanne. Thank you, Counselor Ingalls, for reminding me, because my take on that is I'd rather see a kind of a laundry list, because someone who sees just the social services and youth services, they may not have they may have no connection to what those services could be. And so just bulleting some of the ones that we know we get a lot of usage on, and then some that are kind of under the radar that people use, but people don't talk about, like mental health things and things of that nature, to also include that. So when you send that back out, I think anything that comes in from any one of the committee counselors and such is fair game. If be kind enough to also include Counselor McGrattan, because my take on it is kind of like going to the fair. It's nice to see all the things they offer. You may only want one of the issues, but it may be an issue that's dear to you, and you may not think the social services has it, but it just gives them a plethora. And we can tell people that this is a list, but not an all-inclusive list.
Sure.
Okay, so you guys have it. I just sent it to you. So if there's anything else you want to add or you don't want on the list, just let me know.
Okay. Thank you, Rox.
Thank you, Roxanne. So the goal would be then for Thursday, if we get back to you tomorrow. I know we had talked about getting this out as early as possible. I think 3 weeks is sufficient. We get it out this week, and then we can post it between the counselors and such. We can post it to our personal websites and go to the Ledyard, all the different other sites we're associated with, and post it up there as information. It was received well last time we did that. People liked it. And I hope it's the same this time.
Mhm. And remember, our goal was to have 20 people in attendance.
Yes. And
So
hope,
I
if
would
we get
love
20
it to be different faces. That would be so great if we could pick up, a few people who don't normally attend town meetings. That would be so great.
Yes. I'd be interested to find out also, for people who may view it later, how many people that may possibly be. Because I know, like, I look at I'm just using myself as somebody who looks at the videos, particularly on the budget stuff after the fact. It just would be interesting to see how much of an impact we have beyond what we get to see during our meeting. Is there any other business proper to come before the committee?
No, sir.
With that, with no exceptions, I'd like to call this meeting adjourned at 7:08.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you,
Thanks, Mike.
everybody.
Thanks, Bill. Thank you,
Good night,
everyone.
everybody.
Thank you for
Good
coming,
night,
everyone. Have a
Good
great
night.
night.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy
yeah.
St. Patty's Day.
Going to eat my corned beef now. Woo, woo.
Woo!
Right? Me too.